I'm going to try to broadcast this live on Twitch. Not that anybody's going to watch us because nobody knows that we're broadcasting live on Twitch.
It's true. We'll plug it after.
Well, I'm trying to figure out, is it broadcasting or not? Oh, yeah, it says that it's live.
Woohoo! Live. I'll get it out there on Twitter.
Why does it not show this? What is going on here? See, this is why I'm broadcasting live on Twitch, so I don't have these problems tomorrow.
I suck at typing.
Oh, and I just got a notification that Hitting the Marks just went live. Oh, yeah, and there we are, sitting here talking about not being live while we're live.
Hey, we're live?
Hey, we're live. Live
We're
on twitch.tv/ Hitting the Marks. Even though
right.
We're just going to record and it's not going to be live and people aren't going to know that it's live. Maybe I should share to Facebook.
Yeah, I gotta subscribe to you guys over on Twitch.
Group, Hami Media Discussion Group. Hey, Bello and I are live. ... We think.
Hey, we're live. I'm looking at us. Okay, that's not good.
Nobody wants to look at us. Jesus.
Oh, it's awful.
Oh, look at those ugly motherfuckers. Oh, yeah. Our channel's mature for those of you who didn't know.
Yeah, my shit's like freaking out. There we go. All right. How do I share this? I just want to share you.
Are you on a phone or?
I'm on a phone.
If you tap on the screen,
I got
you
it.
get the little share option.
Okay. Don't talk to me like I'm like a fucking senior citizen.
Like you're a fucking millennial.
Boom. There it is. Figured that shit out all on my own.
There you go. Ronda Rousey ain't got shit on you.
That's right. Fucking Ronnie. That's the fucking hottest feud in the history of women's wrestling. And will forever be.
It's true.
That's it. Ronda's going to retire in a year, and that'll be the end of the window.
The funny part is that's probably accurate.
Yeah, she's going to, get knocked up and go have a kid and probably never come back.
Do you actually sound...
Ronda's going to retire in a year, and that'll be the end of the window.
Yeah, you do kind of sound like a robot through Twitch. Maybe that's...
Robot.
Oh, maybe that's the setting here. Maybe that's what that is.
You have a robot setting?
I have a turn Bello the fuck down setting.
Oh, that's fair. That's necessary.
Maybe I should turn myself the fuck down, too. That's probably a good idea. I don't know if anybody's actually watching us or not. Oh, we have 2 viewers. It's probably me and you.
I'm off. I think I'm off.
Oh, no, we have Craig Horsley. Craig Horsley is in the house.
What up, Horsley?
What's up, man? Hey, yeah. Oh, it shows up on my screen there. We're actually testing the Twitch feed so that we don't have these issues tomorrow because we had some issues going live. So if you can see this right now, that's what's going on here.
Yep.
We're getting ready to record the next level with your not so humble host, the Andrew Bello.
Oh, that's me. Yes, not so humble. This the anniversary humbleness has worn off, and I'm back to just being better than the rest of you.
Love the graphic. Thank you. I slaved all of about 20 minutes trying to make that.
It was a hard 20 minutes, though.
Hard time. Of course, the 3 hours of the one that I put together for tomorrow led to the 20 minutes it took me to put together this one because I knew what the fuck I was doing.
Okay. Yeah, so it was like the second pass through.
Yeah, that's certainly. Actually, it was like the 6th.
Oh, okay.
Because the first 5 all sucked, so they got deleted.
Fair. It's fair. It's only 6, though. It's not so bad.
You can only see a quarter of Bello's smoke show face. Is that because of the sunglasses or the graphic? Tomorrow's graphic looks completely different. so you won't have that issue tomorrow. For the live call-in show, yeah, we're going to take your phone calls. That's going to be scary.
Better?
Yeah. That's much better.
Sweet.
Little Ben Bello.
Get the fuck out of here. This little Ben nonsense. I had a dude call me Peter Parker this week. I was honored. I don't know why, but he did.
Peter Parker?
He just said, yeah, he's like, I'll call you Peter Parker. All right.
Which Peter Parker would you be? Would you be the Tobey Maguire Peter Parker or the Andrew Garfield Peter Parker?
Definitely not Andrew Garfield. And yeah, unfortunately, I don't think I'm at the Tom Holland level quite yet. So I think by default, it's going to go back to Tobey. But like Spider-Man 3 Tobey, where he's like dancing around and like hitting on chicks and trying to be all super suave, like Stefan Urkel, Tobey Maguire Spider-Man.
Stefan Urkel.
That one, yeah.
Tremendous.
Yeah.
Tremendous.
Stefan Urkel is tremendous.
Bello has hair. See, I disputed that fact for a very, very long time.
It exists. It was much longer before I cut it recently.
I actually thought you were wearing like a hairnet, like a weave.
Oh, I was thinking about going full do-rag, but I figured that would offend somebody. I don't actually own one either, so that would be an awkward purchase.
I used to own a whole bunch of do-rags.
Really?
Yeah.
You're do-ragging it up?
Well, I was in a hardcore band, so, we had to do that stuff. I just, put them in my pocket. Jamie Greer in the house.
Okay.
Editor of Last Word on Pro Wrestling. Hey, Dick Lickers. I assume that must be Huckleberry.
Oh, Rip Rogers is here?
No, that's Huckleberry number 1.
What's up, Rick?
I like how the chat box works. That's actually pretty cool. That's pretty neat. You guys should see my screen right now. It looks absolutely absurd. And I have 4 fucking Bellos on my screen for one reason or another.
Lucky you.
It's rather disturbing. It's kind of like in a house of mirrors.
You're in Big Ray's wet dream right now.
Oh my god. Motherfucker.
It's too easy. So yeah, NXT TakeOver, Jargo.
Oh, are we actually going to start next level now?
I don't know. I kind of feel like farting around for a little bit more. We got Survivor Series coming up. Any thoughts?
Oh man, Survivor Series is going to be one of 2 shows. It's either going to be a really, really good show or it's going to be a really, really bad show, and I'm not entirely sure which it's going to be.
I'm super nervous about the Bryan-Brock Lesnar match. I sort of feel like we're about to witness a murder, and I don't know that I like it.
Well, if you listen to the Hitting the Marks Pro Wrestling podcast, I actually laid out a pitch where Brock Lesnar basically murders Daniel Bryan. And Brock Lesnar is going to give Daniel Bryan 30 German suplexes in my scenario.
Okay.
And then Daniel Bryan's going to win the match and leave with Paul Heyman.
He's gonna. Okay.
Yeah.
I was thinking.
It's a real pitch.
I'm gonna go even farther outside of the box. So he murders Daniel Bryan. Legitimately, Brock Lesnar wins the match. And this is how we get Bray Wyatt back into WWE. Is that Bray Wyatt resurrects Daniel Bryan because he was once one of his sheep.
Would it be all right if maybe we can borrow the Lake of Reincarnation?
Okay.
And we'll just bring back the full-on American Dragon.
Yes. Yeah, either that or he just goes back to Bryan Danielson altogether. He's just that's it. He comes out just full blown Ring of Honor mode. Bryan Danielson.
There's a delay on Bello. I'm gonna try.
Fuck you. Keep up.
Here, let me try doing this and see if this works. Bello, go ahead and say something.
Say something.
Maybe I think that might have fixed it. I think that because I think what I was doing, I think I was pulling your audio from 2 different sources.
Well,
which would, in fact, create that crazy, weird effect. Fixed it? Awesome. See, this is why we do these things. Oh, man, that's going to cause a real problem for the phone calls, though. Echo is gone, but volume is low on Bello. Volume is low.
Get the fuck out of here.
Volume is
Any
low
better?
On Bello.
Check. Hello. I could turn me up a little bit. Hold on.
What's up, everybody? For those of you who are just joining us, we are testing the stream for tomorrow. And then Bello and I are going to talk some NXT TakeOver.
Any better? Check. Hello?
Because now Bello seems really loud to me, but maybe that's just me.
I mean, I'm like...
What's up, Joe?
I'm at like 5 out of 10 on my audio level over here on Skype.
Well, it's because I'm running you through my interface.
Well, yeah.
He sounds way cooler with the delay.
Okay, well then let's roll with it. I mean...
Yeah, well, fuck it, you know.
I'm a little delayed. What can I say?
Maybe if you guys are real lucky, we'll get Enzo Amore and Paul Heyman doing a review of a TakeOver match.
That could happen.
That
the Jew
could
that runs
happen,
the zoo and the Michael Jordan of jargon.
It could happen, ladies and gentlemen. You never know what might happen on this stream.
How you doing, Paul?
Enzo, it is great to see you, young man.
Hey, it ain't Enzo no more. It's real, @real1.
Enzo, it is great to see you, young man.
Hey, listen here. Nah, that's it. I ain't got nothing. You're Paul Heyman.
You know, it doesn't really work when we're live on the video.
It doesn't.
Not
Hold on.
so
Pretend
much.
It's not me. All right. Hey, how you doing?
Maybe we got to start doing the Pritchard gimmick. I just got to get one of those big, like Paul Heyman fat heads.
Oh, shit, I'm knocking stuff down
Are you
here.
throwing more shit at me? I thought we had this conversation.
Listen, I'll throw shit if I feel like throwing shit. The more you tell me not to throw shit, the more I'm going to feel encouraged to throw shit.
What is this, a War Games match?
Oh, it's a War Games match. I got branded Bello chairs over here. Smoke show branded chairs.
Smoke show chairs. Yes. Maybe Ellsworth will send dick pics to Enzo. That's incredibly disturbing. My 15-year-old daughter asked me today why she can't have Snapchat, and I was like, James Ellsworth is why you can't have Snapchat.
Yeah, no, James Ellsworth. No one can get in contact with Enzo. He just randomly pops in and out here. Like, people send he gets his mail. It still comes to my house because he doesn't actually have an address of record.
That's okay. We have Ty Dillinger. Ty Dillinger is hanging out in my apartment. We have him on loan currently from the WWE while he is injured.
Ah, okay. Well, yeah.
Since I have people here, I want to test something else too, because I don't think Bello will be able to hear this, but I'm curious if the stream can hear this.
This is your United States of America. Speak your mind.
Can the stream hear that? I'm curious if the stream can hear that, because I can hear that. Bello can't hear that because Bello's on Skype.
Nope, can't hear shit.
Craig can hear that. That's awesome. Fuck yeah.
Nice, Craig. How's it sound?
Sounds like it's time for another Hitting the Marks Pro Wrestling podcast.
Fucking
Heyman. If only I was a Jew. Apparently Sabu has surfaced as Ellsworth's girl's second boo. You know, that wouldn't surprise me because, you know, Sabu is a real piece of shit.
So Sabu's fucking Ellsworth's woman? Is that... First and foremost, Ellsworth has a woman? That's you're burying the lead there.
Perfect, Craig. Thank you very much. Yeah, Sabu's post was crazy. That was absolutely insane.
What did he do? I don't know.
Sabu posted he was replying to the picture of Jim Ross where Jim Ross is all super fucked up.
Oh, yeah.
And he was like, basically, too bad it didn't kill you, you stupid son of a bitch.
Nice guy, Sabu.
Yeah, Sabu's a very, very pleasant individual. Yeah, he's a pleasant guy. Bello, let's talk TakeOver because I don't want to smoke weed on the stream, man. So we got to do this now because
we might as well get this over with then.
I'm getting way too much blood in my THC stream.
Yeah, I took care of that over the course of the event, but nonetheless, I guess we should give a proper result. So, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Next Level Wrestling Podcast right here on the Hacker Homie Media Group and the Wrestling World Podcast Network and on twitch.tv/Hitting the Marks this week. And I'm joined, of course, by one half of the Hitting the Marks Pro Wrestling Podcast and the Monday Locker Room right here on Homie Media. He is coming to us from that shithole known as Iowa. His name is Michael Jargo. You can find him on Twitter @NotJargo. Ladies and gentlemen, Jargo.
Right now it looks like Hoth outside, man. We got a whole bunch of snow last night, got a bunch of ice. I threw my back out. It's been an awesome day. But now I'm at the Next Level podcast to talk about NXT TakeOver War Games 2. We can't just call it, TakeOver Los Angeles. It has to be TakeOver War Games 2. We're going to be up to it's TakeOver Brazil War Games 874.
I'm waiting for NXT TakeOver Earth 2. That's where we're just gonna take it to a whole nother dimension.
I'd be down with that. Is Johnny Gargano a babyface or a heel in that universe?
Oh God, I don't even know. I don't know that he knows. It depends.
Nobody knows. Nobody knows where the hose goes when the doze is closed.
That's right. We're gonna talk about Gargano and him just getting way too just ridiculous with these comic book references at this point. Like, it's mishmashing into nonsense. We'll cover it. But yeah, so there was a TakeOver event. Me and you were actually talking about it earlier in the week as to whether or not they were going to add a match. I actually thought it would be a women's match, if anything, but they went ahead and did this Riddle and Ono match here. I don't know if did you see the exchange in the pre-show?
I did see the exchange on the pre-show of them kind of going at it back and forth a little bit. Now, we do know that this match is still going to happen Wednesday on NXT. What we saw tonight was nothing more than a tease of what's to come. But Bello, I'm telling you, it was 5 seconds long, and 3 of the seconds was the referee counting. This was a 2-second match.
It was wonderful, I thought, but it was kind of interesting because I didn't really know what they had done. As a matter of fact, you just telling me now of what's going to happen next week with all this, but I figured they were going to do a match during the pre-show like they would do and set it up for next week for the NXT Hangover edition, as I always like to call it. And then they come out and they do this whole thing, and he's like, oh, well, me and Ono were just supposed to wrestle next week, and the crowd all sold it. And I was like, they have to know what's going on based on what happened in the pre-show, but they all kind of rolled with it. It was awesome.
I'm with Joe. I would actually kind of like to see Ono get over in this match, because if Ono is going to be the gatekeeper, if Ono is going to be the guy that's there to make the new guy that's coming in, Ono has to win a match once in a while. I mean, why didn't Ono at least get some heat back after the match while Matt Riddle's standing there celebrating like a bro? Just come up and attack him and freaking KO him from behind, right?
Yeah, I guess they could have gone that route. I mean, I'm personally not at all interested in Ono, and I don't even, this gatekeeper thing it used to be like he was really more of a true gatekeeper, like keeping almost from the mid-card to the main event sort of scene. Now he's just like the welcoming committee, and, Dillinger kind of played this role for a while back. I think it's...
And was Tyler Breeze before Dillinger?
Exactly. I think, in those two guys' cases, they were at least ascending up to the main roster. Do you at this point ever see Cassius Ohno moving up to the main roster? Because I just don't.
No, he's there in that player-coach kind of role.
Yeah, exactly. So it's just maybe at this point he's just, this is one of the last couple that he does, where he just puts somebody over coming in the door. Maybe he'll do it for Keith Lee, and then, that might be it. Interesting
note, I did hear that both Christopher Daniels and Frankie Kazarian turned down Ring of Honor contracts. Those are two other guys I could see them bringing in that same kind of role, in that player-coach kind of role. That'd be fantastic.
Absolutely. Yeah, and with Daniels, I can even see them maybe, using him on the main roster, not only as a wrestling talent, but potentially more as a manager type. He was supposed to be, what was it, the powers that be, or whatever the fuck
the
it was.
Higher power.
The higher power, yeah, the powers that be was Russo, right, over on WCW. And, so they can, use him in that capacity. He could definitely get a couple of young guys over, and he carries a lot of weight. He's probably one of the most, if not the most underrated wrestler of the last 20 years.
Before we started recording, we were talking a little bit about Survivor Series. When you look at that tag team Survivor Series match for tomorrow, you tell me they couldn't use SCU. For God's sake.
Especially on the Raw side, because actually the SmackDown side's pretty good. If they actually had the Colognes on TV every once in a while, we would give somewhat of a shit about them. But, that side, that team's pretty stacked as far as the tag team division goes. It's unfortunate that they have weeks at a time on SmackDown that they don't even care about the tag team division at all, and they'll just go 2-3 weeks without a tag match, and then, pancakes, and then penitentiaries and whatnot.
Pancakes.
Pancakes and penitentiaries.
Just remember tomorrow, Killian Dane and the New Day are going to be on the same team. How many pancakes do you think Killian Dane could eat?
I think he could probably out-eat the New Day just by himself. Yeah.
All the pancakes.
Mm-hmm. All the pancakes. And then, if Killian Dane and Hansen ever are in the same room together, my mind might explode. I feel like they're just the same person.
They're not?
No, apparently not. I was talking about this with Strangler Steve earlier tonight, and he said, I think Dane is significantly larger than Hansen.
That's insane to me.
Yeah, I need to see them standing next to one another now.
We'll talk about the artist formerly known as War Machine a little bit later on. But there's another one. Why are they in NXT? My God, just put those guys on the main roster already. They don't need development. Just put them. You could have them on Raw tomorrow.
Yeah, I'm sort of smelling a potential shakeup at some point in the near future, and I think they might come up. You can't put them on Raw because I feel like they're too much like the Authors of Pain to like immediately run to that. You're just gonna have the two of them beat each other up instead of maybe potentially putting some baby faces over. So, or I guess I don't know how they'll handle War Machine on the main roster, but I would probably work them as heels. And then we'll go from there on the SmackDown side. I feel like it's almost like too loaded to where they'll go over the Colognes and the Good Brothers, and then they'll keep running up against the Usos and the New Day and probably not going over. So it's sort of no man's land. It's the same reason I don't want Shayna moving up yet. Yeah,
I was very happy to see Shayna retain tonight.
Yeah, that was it was like wishful thinking on my part when I called it this week on Next Level, but it was nice, and they got everybody over, including Dakota Kai and Io Shirai in the process. So we can talk about all that, but let's break down this whole thing. I mean, I guess we talked all there is to talk about the Riddle match.
I was going to say, the match was 5 seconds long. I mean, how long can we really talk about it here? What's your ceiling on Matt Riddle? How high are you on Matt Riddle?
Well, I'm about as high as Matt Riddle is on Matt Riddle. He's pretty high. I'm pretty high on Matt Riddle. I think this kid's got just this crazy charisma that I can't fully wrap my head around. It's like the Jeff Hardy enigmatic charisma, where I don't know how to describe it, but the way he cuts his promos, it just comes off so natural. Obviously, as a stoner, I relate to his personality in a certain way, so it's just like, I don't know, he could be an RVD type, kind of level, and if he gets that far, I mean, that's pretty fucking far. So let's take it there.
And you are from Jersey, so I assume that you know guys who say bro like every 3 words, bro.
Oh yeah. Yeah, bro. I throw around a few bros myself. Bro. Fucking, where's Russo when we need him? He was doing the AMA this week. I'm yet to actually check it out, but I'm definitely going to. That's pretty dope to have Russo over on the platform. So just him popping in. I can only imagine the dumbass questions that our people asked him.
Joe wants to know, might be something minor, but do you see the main roster letting him continue to work with no boots? I hope not. Put on some shoes, you dirty freaking hippie. Put on some goddamn shoes. It drives me insane seeing people wrestle barufoot.
Yeah, I'm the total opposite. I like the no feet. I like the sandals gimmick. I like all that sort of shit. As far as them letting him do it, I think Rusev sort of set the precedent with this, where they're not going to risk it. So they'll come up with something. He'll at least start wearing tape. It won't just be full blown like bare feet. And they'll have to come up with some sort of compromise where he can keep the sandals, because that's clutch.
I hate the sandals.
Well, fuck you. The sandals are spectacular.
There is that, Bello. Well, fuck you.
They're going to sell, you know how many $15 pairs of sandals are going to sell at shows because of this kid?
You think that we're going to monetize Matt Riddle's sandals?
I don't think there's any doubt in anyone's mind that they're going to monetize those sandals. I mean, they're
that
totally
is just disgusting to me.
I'm down. I'm going to wear them in my shower, which I know is perfectly clean, like it's the old college days.
I would cut my feet off if I could, because I
to
need
avoid
them to
wearing
walk.
the Matt Riddle sandals.
Yes, feet in general, they're just disgusting.
Okay, I can't disagree with you there, but nonetheless, we need them. I mean,
they do come in handy.
They're pretty essential. Yeah.
Yes, feet are handy. Yes, I went there.
He did.
You know what? Fuck you.
Phalanges. All right. So Shayna and Kyrie in the best 2 out of 3 fall match. This is a de facto best of 7 at this point, as I was talking about this week on Next Level, because these two cannot escape one another, and I don't know that we're done, actually, considering how this ended. But this match overall, I don't even want to necessarily break it down in any extremely specific way, but we get the non-Ronda horsewomen helping out Shayna with the first fall, Kyrie going full-blown female Tanahashi mode and beating back everybody and winning with the second fall. And then just when it looks like Kyrie's going to win the third fall, Shayna rolls her up. And it appeared to me that Kyrie got her left shoulder up, but I don't know if that's going to factor into this or if that was just a botch. It looked pretty blatant. It looked like they weren't shying away from it, although I didn't hear commentary talk about it. So with that said, Shayna Baszler retains as predicted here on the Next Level Wrestling podcast, and I'll throw it to you, Mr. Jargo.
Well, I expected Kyrie to win this match, and I expected her to win this match. And looking at the other contenders that we have for the NXT Women's Championship, most of them are heels. Bianca Belair versus Shayna Baszler doesn't do a whole lot for me. Bianca Belair versus Kyrie Sane, yes, please, sign me up. Well, now, what we have to remember is between the War Games TakeOver and the Rumble TakeOver, this is probably the shortest build that we have inside of NXT. So obviously what we're going to do, we're going to go to a 6-women tag match, which I assume will be Shafir and Duke's debut inside of NXT. And of course, all of this is leading to horsewomen versus horsewomen, because now we have all 4 of the WWE horsewomen on the babyface side of the roster, because Becky turned babyface Tuesday on SmackDown. In case if anybody missed the memo, that's what the whole hugging Charlotte thing was all about. So it seems clear to me that that's where this thing is going. I do like Baszler retaining here, though, because I'm not ready for her to go up to the main roster. I just don't know what we do with Kyrie Sane now.
Yeah, that does raise a question, but do you think they go full-blown? I mean, let's face it, with the whole Becky and Ronnie thing, Ronda was de facto heel. People were going to boo Ronda over Becky. It was just looking that way, and they were chanting Becky at Ronda on Raw. So they do a full-blown Ronda heel turn and
Why
then
not?
bring up the horsewomen. Yeah, I mean, I just can't see them doing that. I mean, they got her out there doing the smiling gimmick, and, she's somebody they want people to like. That's why she's there.
Yeah,
So,
but they wanted
that's
people
tough.
to dislike Becky, and now she is the hottest star inside of the company. And if you have Becky on the babyface side, why not
Yeah.
turn Ronda?
Yeah, and you got Bailey and Sasha who are desperate for something, and Charlotte who's now on good terms with Becky. It really does all add up, and that's probably where we're going with it, and that'll delay us having to come up with a babyface challenger for Shayna for a little while.
At
Maybe
least
we work
through
our way
Rumble.
back to maybe we work our way back to Dakota Kai, and
Yeah.
we can do that whole thing
My-
around Mania time.
My biggest issue here was this match, 2 out of 3 falls went 10 minutes and 53 seconds.
Yeah. You can say that on paper, but with the first fall being the way it was, I mean, I can kind of understand. She got help pretty quickly, and what did she get the first fall in? Like less than 2 minutes, it feels like. It was super early.
Yeah, first fall came at 2 minutes and 2 seconds.
There you go. So, I mean, just the way that they did it, I think you can almost justify it. And with Kyrie being that down and out early.
I would have to do some more research and go back and look and see what the match times were of their previous matches, but I feel like this might have been the shortest match that these two have had, and it was 2 out of 3 falls.
Yeah. That being said, in that context, it does sound sort of ridiculous, but I don't know. I enjoyed it overall. I'm so iffy on Kyrie Sane overall. I can't quite figure out if I love her, if I'm just not fully understanding what's special about her. The pirate thing sort of annoys me because she's just dressed like one. Like, in what other way is she a pirate? What ship is she driving with that tiny little wheel that she's rolling around in? None of it fully adds up to me. So I just think she's sort of like this delusional babyface who thinks she's a pirate, and that kind of weirds me out. And then her wrestling's like perfectly fine, but I don't know. The elbow is what it is. It's just an elbow. I mean, it's no Macho Man.
My 5-year-old says, fuck you.
Okay. Well,
She
that's
loves
fair.
Kyrie Sane.
Yeah, my daughter likes Kyrie Sane too.
You know, I feel like we are not the target demographic for Kyrie Sane, Bello.
I guess so, but I don't know. There was so much acclaim coming in with everybody. All the smart marks on the internet. Oh, she's so good. She's like the second best Japanese wrestler of all time behind Io Shirai. And you hear all this shit, and you hear all these elbows, and you see the gifs, and you hear all the buzz, and then it's just like, okay, she's good. she's gonna learn how to fucking speak English. I mean, that's just the end of the day for me. It's the same thing with Lacey Evans. She's got everything except she's got to fucking learn how to wrestle. These people are one step away, but that's a big fucking step for some people.
I'm just going to go ahead and say it. If Stephanie McMahon would dye her hair blonde, she would be Lacey Evans.
Yeah, I could see that. I mean, she's Stephanie.
That's the only way I can explain her push. That's it.
I don't know. I feel like they're pushing her in the wrong way.
I don't get it.
She kind of comes off as a heel. Like, she seems like she's probably sort of a bitchy human being in real life. But, you know, she's a mom and a Marine. Like, they could be pushing her as, like, a strong, proud woman as a babyface with the whole pin-up doll look, you know, the whole classic 40s look or whatever it was. I just think there's a route for her. They're just not quite there yet with her.
I think there is a role for Lacey Evans, and that role is when a new babyface comes into the company, the first heel they beat is Lacey Evans.
Okay, well, that's a role for at least the time being. But, yeah, I don't know. Shayna retains here. I mean, we were talking about where we think we're moving forward. We got an X-Pac sighting. How'd you feel about X-Pac sighting?
You know, take this in context, all right? When we were at StarCast, All-In Weekend, we went to the Bruce Pritchard roast, right? And when the roast first started, X-Pac's sitting up on the stage with his little fucking dog. All right?
Yeah.
And then when we go to leave, we're standing outside and we're waiting for our hotel shuttle to come, and out comes X-Pac with his little fucking dog. Like, this is like X-Pac's security blanket, is this little
it's
fucking
his comfort
dog.
puppy.
And I can't take X-Pac seriously anymore.
See, I
Sorry,
feel like
he's
figured out. Well, I was gonna say I feel like he's figured out how to avoid X-Pac heat, and that's bring a puppy around with you. But apparently not in the Jargo household.
No, we are definitely cat people. Although I would like, evidently his dog's name is Lulu. Thank you, Jamie Greer, for that. Lulu is the name of X-Pac's dog. Since we need some star power at WrestleMania next year, let's just book it. Lulu versus Pharaoh, all holds barred.
I like it. Can we get like, I don't know, Joe Frazier, the kangaroo, to referee?
Absolutely, I'm sure that can be arranged.
Yeah, there it is.
He
we'll
saved
call
that
it Matt
dog
Hardy.
from death, so he has to be there for support. Oh my God! See, now you make me feel like a dick for calling out X-Pac for his little dog. Really, Jamie? Really?
He saved the dog.
He saved the dog from certain death. X-Pac is actually the dog's comfort animal. It's not the other way around. The dog has to have X-Pac around. Evidently, that is the deal.
Oh, okay. In that case, fuck them both.
Damn it, Jamie. Make me feel like an ass. I'm sorry, X-Pac. I love your dog. That's a great
Fuck you.
story.
Fuck your dog.
Too sweet.
Lulu.
Lulu? Who names a dog Lulu?
That's what I'm saying.
Like, come on. What's your what? You got any pets, Bello?
I don't. I have a child. That's close enough.
I have a cat. He's an evil bastard. His name is Oswald Cobblepot.
Nice. Okay. Well, that makes sense. Yeah, no, I'm thinking about it, but I'm just not quite there yet. I'm allergic to cats, and I hate them. Not because I'm allergic to them, but just because I hate them.
Cats hate you too.
I'm sure they do. As a matter of fact, I know they do. So
cats hate everybody, man. Don't let them fool you.
That's true. You know, everybody's concerned about the AI robot takeover. I've got my eye on you cats, okay? They're already the superior species. They've got us fucking feeding them and, you know, housing them, and they just sit around and lick themselves all day. Oh, to be a cat.
I want to be a cat when I come back.
Yeah, me too. I definitely don't want to be Johnny Gargano when I come back, because he's a troubled soul, man. I mean, let's start with the gear. He comes right out, so we're moving on to Johnny Gargano versus Aleister Black. And
I have so much issue with this Punisher gear, man.
Yeah, I mean, obviously Stan Lee just passed, so he wanted to go Marvel, but he's already been doing the Spider-Man Venom gimmick, and that's really what the whole gimmick has been, is very much like him being consumed by the evil, consumed by the symbiote of this hatred for Tommaso Ciampa that's driven him to do terrible, terrible things. Then he comes out with the Punisher gear, which really just looks like his normal winky face, but it's throwing up, which is, I guess, sort of apropos because it's Johnny Gargano is a very, very sick man. The Johnny Wrestling that we know and love is not well. But then you got the Punisher thing, which I think is just muddying the waters. Like, stick with the Venom gear. He should have come out in full-blown Venom gear. No Spider-Man, no hint of Spider-Man, just Venom. He went with Punisher. And the whole Johnny Takeover thing on the back. Just go ahead, because I can keep going on this.
It should have been green and purple gear. This story is quite clearly, to me, Batman versus the Joker. Aleister Black is the Dark Knight, and Johnny Gargano is the Joker. He thinks he's the hero, but he's not. That's the story going on here. And then he comes out in Punisher gear? Really? Fuck the Punisher.
See, I'm looking at this as just, this is to me like a tie-in. This is a part of the bigger story, where the bigger story obviously is still Gargano and Ciampa. So yeah, he's got this little thing going on here with Black, but like I was saying on Next Level this week, like once he moves his way back up, once he finally ends this descent into madness and starts working his way back up to the Ciampa, I don't even think he's going to have to like beat Black again. It's just going to be a matter of like reconciling with him for what he did as Black, who ultimately wins this match, quote, absolved him of his sins with a second Black mask and in a just knockout kick. It was fantastic.
That's really the story going forward here, right? Johnny Gargano has been absolved of his sins. Okay, well, what the fuck does that mean?
Yeah, is it of all of his sins? Are there other sins, other than him attacking Black that we are unaware of? How does Black have the right to forgive him of these sins? Where does Candace fall in all this? Because that's another thing. I had like a weird moment today, Jargo, and see if you can roll with me on this one. You know how Candace has been kind of wearing the darker makeup the last couple weeks?
Yes.
I wonder if maybe, just maybe, she kind of liked it when Aleister Black was talking all tough to her a couple weeks ago. Maybe in the aftermath of what's gone on, Candace went to go apologize to Mr. Black, and maybe, just maybe, they had a little thing. And that's why she's wearing the black makeup. She's got the darker hair almost a little bit. She's not doing the frou-frou Barbie doll makeup anymore. Maybe, just maybe, she's left Johnny Gargano and moved on to Aleister Black because I like a weird romance angle.
It's better than what they've done with Candace so far.
Yeah.
My TV just turned on magically. It was weird.
That's weird.
Has there been any ball inside of NXT that has been dropped that has been bigger than Candice LeRae? This is the biggest ball drop I can remember inside of NXT history.
I almost wonder if she's like being punished for all of the douchebags like us that took exception to her being so closely tied to the Gargano character. Like, just the way that we were kind of like bitching about Candace wrestling, and they were like, fine, you don't want her involved, well, we're going to do absolutely fucking nothing with her. And that's sort of what they've done. They've kept her separate from this. She's clearly needs to have, like, why wouldn't she have some input on what's going on with her husband, who appears to have just gone completely off the deep end? I mean, she keeps saying, like, we want to keep it separate, but at a certain point, like, you got to have something to say about this, otherwise you're not contributing to anything.
Okay, well, let me ask you this. Couldn't you apply the same thing to Renee Young on Monday Night Raw?
Oh, absolutely. But Renee Young is, like, good at her job. Candace is great at her job, but they don't ever actually book her to do her job, which is actually go out there and wrestle. And now she's sort of like emo Candace. Is she gonna... What do you...
This is for Craig. This is for Craig.
Why?
Craig knows. You know, what? Craig. You know.
All right, Craig, you get one too. All right, there we
go.
Thank you, we all got middle fingers. You're welcome. But yeah, it's just they got to let her go out there and actually wrestle. But if she's going to be emo Candace and be unnecessarily pissed off at Nikki Cross, who we all sort of like because she's kind of crazy, like she can't go out there and get the sympathy the way that Candice LeRae needs to get the sympathy. Like I can't get behind her now. What the fuck what is she? She's out on an island somewhere.
The problem is, and I said this back in January when they brought Candace in, they signed Candice Gargano, and we wanted them to sign Candice LeRae.
Yeah. I mean, my issue with her has always been that the real highlight with her is the intergender shit, and they're never going to let her do that. So, in my opinion, she at least deserves, like, a run in the women's division, a fair shot. She had a kick-ass match with your champion. I mean... What more do you need to see from her? I don't get it.
It says TBD on the SmackDown women's side tomorrow. You could put Candice LeRae in there, and she could go tomorrow. But it's going to be fucking Lana.
Oh yeah.
Candice
Maybe
LeRae,
Nikki.
NXT. Lana, you're on Survivor Series, honey.
Lana is the best.
Lana
Lana
one.
number one. Yeah. All right. Well, fair enough. This is, by the way, Johnny Gargano's record 11th TakeOver match.
How many
That's
of those
pretty cool.
matches has he won?
Wow. He's got to. Wow. At most 3.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think Johnny Wrestling probably has the worst record inside of NXT this year.
Maybe so. Yeah. I mean, well, even with DIY, they hardly won a lot of the big ones, and if they did, it was like they just exchanged wins and losses with the Revival or whatever the case may be for a while. So, yeah, I'm gonna have to look that up. But yeah, 11 takeover matches for Mr. Gargano. I thought that was interesting. Early
Is he
on
ever
going
to get called up?
No, I think we got another.
You think he's
6
a lifer?
I think we got another 6 to 12 months of the Gargano Ciampa story breaking out in NXT, at least. This may never end, and honestly, as long as they're going to keep it going at this rate, I don't care. It's fine.
Well,
Keep
I mean,
fucking
eventually,
going.
now that they're both heel, you might as well put them back together. Give me a heel version of DIY. Johnny regains Ciampa's trust, and that's when he turns on him.
Maybe he comes back and he beats Ciampa, and he goes too far, and Ciampa has to like explain to him like, look what's fucking happened to you, and Ciampa becomes the babyface, and they can just keep fucking leapfrogging one another and continuing this shit until they die. It'll be NXT TakeOver War Games 95 Earth 2-3, and these two will still be fucking fighting for the NXT title, and rightfully so.
Jamie Greer points out that Johnny Gargano is Mr. Takeover, just like HBK, who lost more matches than he won. Performance over stats. Well said, Mr. Greer.
I like it. Yeah, Johnny Takeover. He's trying to get it going, so why not? Did you happen to catch early on in this match? So you get Gargano mocking Black with his little yoga pose, but he not only does he do Black's yoga pose, but he does Ciampa's little wave. Like he's fully becoming Ciampa in the same way that I think Daniel Bryan is fully becoming The Miz, and they've just completely stolen that entire storyline from this.
It's just a little too Eddie Edwards, Sami Callihan for me.
Yeah, and that just happened too. And that's, yeah, I mean, it's hard to say with the Gargano and Ciampa kind of storyline, because it's been going on for so long. At what point they decided to do this, but it all is very reminiscent. It's a lot of the same shit going on, but it's all very good, and you got enough talent. You just keep throwing good stories at it. It'll make it work.
I love the match. I thought this was a fantastic match. I know there are some people that are a little disappointed with the match itself, but when you really look at it, this is the second real match on the show? I mean, you can't go out there and just go completely buck-ass nuts. It's like the match that I had in my head was a 5-star match, and I knew that there's no way they could go out and have that match. I actually expected this match to open the show.
Yeah, me too, originally, when they first had it all laid out with just the 4 matches. I figured this was going to open as well, but I mean, what more did you guys want from this match? I mean, seriously, I was compelled from beginning to end. Black's like one of those guys, he needs somebody like a Gargano to really get me like invested in the match, like somebody to go out there and just sell the shit out of everything and just work the emotion, because Black's going to just do everything technically perfect throughout the whole course of the match. Even within like the whole kayfabe psychology of the thing, I thought he kept going back to that cabrato like way too many times, but that final spot that we got there with it that led to the jumping knee off the suicide dive, like it all made sense.
There was so many things that could have went terribly, terribly wrong inside of this match, but the timing on it from both guys was just dead on.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's sort of what you get from Black is just precision. Like with those kicks and with those knees, like he's managed to find a way to where he could just make those things look as, I don't know how different they'd look if he was hitting them as a shoot. You know, they just look fucking legit, and people sell for them properly, and it just looks amazing. And then you get the whole ending here with the V trigger knee with the pad pulled down and the 2 black masks and the absolution of the sins and all that sort of stuff. It was epic. This was like almost like a re-arrival for Aleister Black, not only coming off of injury, but just coming off of a shitty title run that ended abruptly, with an injury that kind of came out of nowhere. If you forgot who Aleister Black was, you know damn sure who he is now.
Worst title reign in the history of NXT, without a
Yeah,
shadow of a doubt.
Yeah, I don't know. McIntyre's was pretty fucking meh to me too, but yeah, I can make that you can make that argument definitely.
I just feel like there was so much of Aleister Black's mystique was taken away from him simply by him winning the championship.
Yeah, it's almost like he shouldn't care. He's like one of those characters that it sort of transcends. But yeah, him I don't know, him holding that title, and then he just kind of got that. You're a big Ring of Honor guy. This is something they do a lot over there, just throwing him into basically an existing feud. That's something that's always pissed me off that they do it in Ring of Honor. When they did it here, it was like, come on, man, you got a guy who's all character. You could make him good, you can make him evil per his song, and you can have anybody go up against him and make like a compelling story, and you just throw him into an existing feud that he's clearly going to be the third wheel in. It didn't have the legs to begin with.
Meanwhile, EC3 not on this show.
Yeah, and Keith Lee, what the fuck? Like, Matt Riddle showed up and everyone forgot about Keith Lee in the back all of a sudden. Like, I don't understand why the two of them can't be doing awesome shit together. Fuck Cassius Ohno, let these two boys throw down.
EC3 should be on Monday Night Raw Monday. Like, without any doubt. They got nothing for him in NXT, and he's more of a Vince McMahon guy than he is a Triple H guy anyway.
I think you're right. Yeah, I mean, that's something that I could see happening definitely. Like I was saying before, I got this weird feeling we're getting a shakeup, like in the next month, just because the way that everything's fallen down with Roman and with the Ronda and the Becky situation. You maybe want to call Shayna up and you got to fill a spot for her, because you basically just got to give her a show, because anybody who you give a shit about can't be anywhere near Shayna Baszler. And, so they're going to have to kind of do some shuffling. I think we're going to get that big shakeup. We'll probably see the War Machine, the artist formerly known as War Machine, EC3, and a couple other acts coming up kind of out of nowhere.
Yeah, I'm right there with you.
Let's hope so, anyway, because otherwise there's going to be a logjam at NXT. We're almost there already.
Raw needs some help, too.
Desperately, especially on that tag division. But, anywhere else we'll take it as well. Roman left a big void. Fucking Roman Reigns, it's not, we all kind of love to hate him, but the big dog, left a big patch of yard there for somebody to fill.
I don't think that it was necessarily that Roman left this big patch to fill. The problem is there was so much creative that was based entirely around Roman. So now there's all this creative that has to be filled in order to eat the time. It's not that it was Roman, it was just there was so much emphasis put on one single character that taking that one character, regardless of who was in that role, out, throws everything into mass chaos.
Yeah, and then you got Seth and Dean left behind with 2 titles and just not a whole lot else going on, or at least the tag titles came off of them, but it was just it's a weird after kind of aftermath to Roman leaving, is that they had obviously no idea that was coming, and they've had to make some adjustments, and some of them have been good, some of them have been bad, unfortunately for Bobby Lashley. Despite the fact that he's got a sick headband Wayfarer look going on, just can't seem to win a fucking match. It's because Vince hates black people. So Velveteen Dream, speaking of black people, he took on Tommaso Ciampa in what should have been the fucking main event. I don't care if this pay-per-view is called War Games. Tommaso Ciampa is the main event. He is the greatest sports entertainer of all time, and this was complete and utter nonsense. Also, as I was talking about this week on Next Level, to me, half the reason you have this match with Velveteen Dream is to see if he can do it in the main event, and you don't even put him in the main event. Just that whole concept pissed me off. It kind of took me out of the match. Having said that, it was a hell of a match. What'd you think?
22 minutes and 17 seconds. That's how long this match went. I think without a shadow of a doubt, this is the best match that we have seen out of Velveteen Dream, without any question. And in saying that this is the best match that Velveteen Dream has had, this is probably the best match that Tommaso Ciampa has had, because he made the Velveteen Dream look freaking great in this match. If you really go back and watch this match, you could flip the roles on these two guys so easily, because Ciampa was basically a babyface fighting from underneath the entire freaking match. This entire match was basically a showcase for Velveteen Dream, And then, and I'm sorry, I almost called him Gargano. Then Ciampa squeaks one out at the very, very end, retains Goldie. It was a fantastic match, but give Tommy Entertainment his credit because he went out there and he earned that title tonight.
There was a certain aspect of it as I'm watching it. Like early on in the match, Ciampa's really putting kind of, well, once Dream kind of gets through his initial first burst there and he's kind of frustrating Ciampa a little bit, Ciampa pretty quickly gets control of him. He's choking him out in the middle of the ring, essentially, and he's just really putting a beating on him. Part of me wanted to believe that because of the match that we just saw, Ciampa wanted to extend this beating a little bit. He wanted to give us our money's worth. He wanted to prove he is Tommy Entertainment. He was not going to be shown up by some supposed Johnny Takeover. And I wonder if that'll work into the psychology of it somewhere down the line where it's like, I could have ended this kid in 5 minutes flat. I just wanted to give the people something to see because I'm the champ and I should be in the main event. And, he's been cutting great promos on that sort of semi-meta level. So hopefully he kind of taps into something like that.
The thing that to me was so great about Ciampa in this match goes 22 minutes, 17 seconds. If Velveteen Dream has this match with anybody else, this is maybe a 17, 18-minute match. But you could tell there was a couple of times where Ciampa was like, no. I'm going to grab you, and we are going to lay here, and we're going to let people register what just happened. That's what Ciampa is great at, and that's what he added into this match. And I feel like this was an education for Velveteen Dream. It's like, yeah, you've got all your sequences. Yeah, you know when to hit all your big moves. You need to learn when to just lay here and milk it.
Yeah, and he's good at that. I mean, he's definitely kind of got that. He's got that old school sort of mentality that obviously the Triple H likes. Uncle Paul's running the show down here. I've been saying for a while, Ciampa's a genius because he figured out that if he just wrestles exactly how Triple H wants, he'll get to do whatever the fuck he wants to do.
Yep.
And there he is as the champ and the greatest sports entertainer of all time. He even fucking looks like Triple H.
Aside from the finish.
Even the finish.
But aside from the finish, tell me one big move that Ciampa hit in this match.
Aside from the finish. Oh, yeah. I'm trying to think here. Yeah.
Lots of punching and kicking and laying around in headlocks.
He did, yeah. He hit the Project Ciampa at one point for a big kick-out spot. But other than that, the third biggest shot of the match was him throwing shit at Morrow. What the fuck was that all about?
I don't know, but it was great.
I wonder if Morrow knew about it because, I mean, not for nothing. I feel like because of Morrow's condition, for lack of a better term, like they probably had to tell him because you could send him into a tailspin after something like that. So I hope he knew, and Ciampa wasn't just going completely, shoot heel on him. But that was fucking crazy.
Craig brings up DDT after DDT after DDT. R.I.P. the DDT after tonight. That move was completely buried all night. Jake the Snake Roberts has got to be going out and digging himself a grave just so he can jump in it and roll around.
Oh yeah, and in the Black and Gargano match too, Gargano hits the suicide dive DDT.
Dude,
and
that move was
springboard.
Ridiculous.
Yeah, that's pretty silly. I mean, that's a pretty cool little add-on to the suicide dive. We've seen so many goddamn suicide dives at this point now. They got to add into it. It's like Tony Hawk's fucking pro skater out here. It's like you got to do the 900. Kick flick, McTwist with a, I don't know, doing a goofy style, whatever the fuck. I'm just talking to my ass.
But this is one of those things that inside of NXT you can get away with doing that because Aleister Black and Johnny Gargano can go out there and they can practice that move for 2 hours every day for 6 freaking weeks. Can you pull that off on Monday Night Raw when you got to lay out your match at 2 o'clock in the afternoon and your match is at 8?
On Monday Night Raw, no. On SmackDown, I bet 90% of that roster could pull that out right now with that fucking with the Almas and Styles and Bryan and Joe and all those cats. I'm sure they can fucking put shit like this together. It's just one of those
things. I feel like the timing has to be so perfect.
Oh, with the spot with the knee, yeah. I mean, there's no way of doing that on the fly without potentially fucking killing somebody. I mean, that even the way that it went, it looked like Gargano still took a pretty stiff hit, not only with the knee but then with the floor. That's it. He was up there and he just dropped straight down like Wile E. Coyote. Just it was kind of awesome. But yeah, we got Ciampa retaining here. Once again, as predicted, right here on the Next Level Wrestling podcast, as if that wasn't a given.
Joe brings up, same as the super kick got buried as a finisher. While I agree with you, Joe, and that's entirely true, Velveteen Dream, the closest near fall in this match was a super kick.
The super kick. Honestly, I think like the super kick is something. If you can hit it in a surprise enough fashion, we've seen enough random matches ended with like a right hook in the last 2 years in WWE for whatever reason. Alexa Bliss was like a fucking knockout artist for 2 months, where she was just randomly knocking bitches out with a right hook. Lacey Evans finishes a right hook. Big Show obviously and things of the like. So I can see, if you can catch somebody by surprise with a right hook or a super kick, I don't see why any match couldn't end that way. So I wish they would almost protect finishers like that, where, instead of having to do kick out after kick out after kick out on finishing moves, you have sort of matches, spots like that where once in a while it actually ends a match so that we can all believe it for the next 3 months.
Look at Okada, IWGP World Heavyweight Champion, 720 days. What's his finisher? Clothesline.
Yeah, exactly. And you believe it because that clothesline is like, it's not just any clothesline, but nonetheless, it's a clothesline at the end of the day. Yeah, you're absolutely right. To me, I think this is something I've talked about a few times over the years, but I think there needs to be an evolution to the finishing move. I think, for the idea that John Cena needs to pick you up on his shoulders and hit you with a Death Valley driver every time to win a fucking match is just absolutely insane to me. He's hitting you with a flurry of other moves over the course of sometimes a 35 minute match. There's no reason after 30 minutes that literally anything couldn't put you down for a 3 count.
The story is there is, in fact, a 7th move of doom, but John Cena's never needed to use it.
Let's hope he never does.
Lightning back fist, motherfucker.
Lightning back fist. And it just, let's face it, his hair and his just sad state of his life right now is sort of just a distraction. You kind of feel bad for him.
Obviously,
he's just spent a lot of time.
It should be the clothesline from hell, right? That's got to be the 7th move of doom. It's got to be the clothesline from hell because he's slowly becoming JBL.
What if we find out the 7th move of doom is that he, gives you cancer, and then you become a Make-A-Wish kid? That's really what he's been doing all these years.
I like Craig. He has used it, but you can't see it. Fantastic. Great stuff.
That's good. Set us up for that.
I do like Jamie's comment here. Props to Velveteen Dream. Did a history of wrestling during this match, doing Flair, Hogan, Savage, Arn, and HBK in the match.
Yeah, that's sort of what his thing has been. It's never been quite this much of a potpourri, I don't think. But, he normally kind of picks a couple guys or 1 or 2 moves, and he really drives that home. I was most happy to see him come out as the Hollywood Dream, mostly because I kind of did a remix of their 2 musics a while back for an episode when Ray came on. And sure enough, I managed to salvage it. So you'll be hearing it on this broadcast, on the Next Level Wrestling podcast.
Kind of weird seeing a black guy do the Hogan gimmick.
Well,
not gonna lie, it's a little
part
weird.
Of me believes that that's why he's doing it. Is that I'm sure he's a fan, and I think maybe in his own way he's forgiven him. But by no means, I believe. I'm sure even the Velveteen Dream will tell you he does not speak for all black people everywhere. But by him going out there and doing it, it sort of softens the blow, I'm sure, for some people. And maybe that's something that he wasn't exactly discouraged from doing by Triple H or whoever's making those decisions. It's like, we're going to bring the dude back. We might as well at least have a couple black guys put him over. And here you go. You got Velveteen Dream, or the Hollywood Dream. It's just, as soon as I saw it in the hair, and then when he did, in the middle of the match, he did the U, I fucking lost it. Anytime anyone does you, I'm done. I am fucking giggling. It's great.
I hate Hulk Hogan.
I know you do.
Racist, sexist Hulk Hogan.
I like Twitch. At the same time, this is not good for the audio, I'm sure. Anyway, this was the War Games, TakeOver. We got a War Games match. The faces came out in their Elizabeth Warren war paint. I thought that was interesting. And
I thought it was awful.
I thought just
random
looked
lines. Awful.
I barely noticed it on War Machine, obviously, because they're always wearing it. But then when Dunn came out, I was like, looks like he's trying to be Native American. This is not I'm not at all intimidated by this. It was just 2 fucking lines. Yeah, all right, give me some paint too.
Never mind if it gets in the beard, it's fine.
It's just so, yeah, it was sort of whatever. And you could see almost the Undisputed Era, kind of mocking him, oh, ooh, you got paint on your face. Oh, what the fuck? Come on. It's just these togetherness moments. At least when Roddy wore the AOP gear, it was something more than 2 lines on his face.
I had almost forgotten about that until you said that.
I kind of saw, and I only really remembered that because I'm looking at my notes here. And we got Cole and Ricochet starting off the match. I kind of wish Dunn and Roddy started off the match. Now, having known what we saw here at the end with Dunn getting his big spots, but this kind of all started back when Roddy turned on Dunn. And so I kind of thought it would have been apropos if those two kind of got a big spot together in this match. But I don't think they ever did, considering all the big spots in this match. We didn't see those two square off for any significant period of time.
This match went for 47 minutes.
Yeah, it made sense that they were only going to do, the 4 matches with this match, and a 2 out of 3 falls match, which only lasted 10 minutes, could have lasted at least 20, and we'd be probably, just about getting, to about 20 minutes into this review instead of about 40.
47 minutes this match went. And I love War Games because being an old school WCW fan, we talked about this on the Hitting the Marks Pro Wrestling podcast, when the Horsemen were in a War Games match, you knew it was about to get serious. And that's what I wanted to see them do with Undisputed Era. Obviously, Undisputed Era takes the loss in this match, which just irritates the ever-loving shit out of me. But it is what it is. My biggest issue with War Games is it takes like 20 minutes for the match to get started.
Yeah, I'm not in favor of any match that, there needs to be a certain number of things that happen before the match actually starts. It's like the Dixieland match in fucking TNA where it's just like, you gotta escape the cage and then climb a ladder and then go through a jungle gym and then complete an obstacle course and then the match starts. It's like, no, this is just silly. If this more of the King of the Mountain match, all this stuff is so sort of hokey to me. And in this match, if you escape the cage, your team loses. That is contrary to literally everything that I've ever heard. And I know that wasn't the case in old War Games because they used to have a fucking lid on the cage, which they should have now because I don't care how many Christmas Tree of Doom spots you want to do.
I did enjoy the spot where they were trying to throw Ricochet over the cage just to win the match. I thought that was actually a real nice twist on it.
It just sort of makes Ricochet look like a dumbass, though, right? Like, okay, I'm just going to go up here, knowing that all they have to do is toss me off and that Adam Cole will more than willingly throw me off the fucking top of this cage without even thinking about it.
Well, my issue was Adam Cole going up there because if you remember back to last year, Adam Cole did the same thing, and it's like, what the hell are you doing?
He was trying to hide again, I guess, but yeah, it didn't end too well for him last year. It didn't end well for anybody other than Ricochet this year, who, this whole segment of this match was just ridiculous. The old 7-man Christmas Tree of Doom spot with Hanson, with somebody on his back, power bombing 2 guys who were superplex another. This whole thing was insane. Ricochet's the only one who wasn't involved. And then he busts out a double moonsault. A double moonsault. This motherfucker. I said he would do something that defies physics and logic, and I was 100% correct. Double moonsault.
I was hoping for a 900. That's really what I wanted. But, if you're going to do a backwards 450, okay. I'm impressed.
I couldn't even believe it. I was like, wait a second. I had to see the replay just to even understand what happened.
It's ridiculous. The things that guy does is just absolutely ridiculous. But again, Ricochet's another one of those guys. What's the ceiling? Is he a lifetime NXT guy?
Oh no, definitely not. It's a matter of, does he get on SmackDown and end up in the land of opportunity, which I think for him actually could be, because you can have him working with Almas and working with Bryan and Styles, and they'll put on fucking classic matches on a weekly basis. If he ends up over on Raw, it's not going to be too good for him. The land of the giants. As much as I'd like to see him be that baby dog, that baby face underdog working his way up and beat a guy like a Braun or a Brock or something like that, just don't see it happening. As good as we, as much as we like him, I just don't know that Vince is going to like him that much.
Ricochet versus Flip Gordon. Joe's calling for that match inside of NXT. That would be pretty sick. But I think Flip's got about 2 years left on his deal inside of Ring of Honor, and I think Flip is actually going to become one of those cornerstones of Ring of Honor here inside of the next couple of years.
Yeah, I don't doubt it, and they can have him, honestly.
Not a Flip guy, huh?
No, not impressed. No, they shouldn't have booked Flip.
I like Flip as long as he doesn't do that stupid handspring spot.
See, I don't know. Flip just to me reminds me of every guy who's ever worked the indies. Like, I don't know. He just seems like some sort of conglomeration of, like, you know, if he had popped on the scene 5 years ago, he'd be innovative, but now he's just like, okay, I've seen 1,000 of you. I have. I mean, I need something more. I mean, I'm not like, all right, so in fairness, I'm not a beating the elite watcher. Like, I'm not really getting whatever his personal character is. I've just seen a handful of matches, and it's just sort of like, yeah, he's an indie guy.
Yeah, that's fair.
So all due respect to the indie guys, man. You guys are out there busting your ass, but it's just, you know, I need a little more.
Speaking of indie guys, a guy that's rumored to be going to NXT inside of the January crop is a guy by the name of Silas Young from Ring of Honor. Silas Young is 38 years old. That's not a guy that I would expect to be going into NXT. Shane Strickland in the same class. That's a guy that I would expect going into NXT. But Shane Strickland on one hand, Silas Young on the other, unless they're bringing Silas in that player coach kind of role.
I was just going to say they need to get rid of, they need to fill the void when they future endeavor Ono, which I could actually foresee them doing at this point. It wouldn't surprise me. It's not like he's done himself any favors over there. It's kind of been a miracle he's been able to hang around in the second run as long as he has, considering we all know what the problem is, and I'm yet to see actual improvement in that way, and that's why he's getting booked the way that he's getting booked. So I'd rather have Silas Young coming in here and doing the tough guy shtick than Ono, frankly. I'd have him teach some people how to be real men down there.
I do
God
prefer
knows
the
we got a whole
last real
generation
man.
of guys who can know how to be a real man. Yeah.
I do like the last real man as opposed to Fat Cassius Ono in his Sacramento Kings gear.
Exactly. And you got, all these young kids coming up in NXT, like he can come in as the grizzled vet and show these, punks who's boss or whatever the fuck and tell them to get off his lawn. That'd be
that's
great.
basically what he's been doing in Ring of Honor for the last year with Bully Ray.
There you go. So do that over in NXT. Why not?
Book
Uncle
it.
Paul will love it. Book it. So, so the Undisputed Era lost in this match, as you mentioned. And
It's a bunch of shit.
Yeah, we get Dunn and Ricochet pinning Cole at the end of it. Are we going to see these two face off again? And is that the reason that we got this outcome? Because that's sort of where I'm thinking, but I'll let you hypothesize first.
Well, but they both pinned Cole.
Yes.
So I think that's the thing. It's got to be a triple threat, right?
See, I feel like because they both pinned Cole, he's out of the equation now. Like, he and his buddies, they lost. They fucked up. They got involved in that match that they shouldn't have got involved in, and that's sort of what kind of led to this match. And now I think, I think Cole's in the past. They both have titles. He doesn't. What is he bringing to the table?
I think we should invent a new kind of triple threat match. We're going to do an elimination style triple threat match. And Adam Cole is a swarmy enough dick, as you have so rightfully dubbed him, the swarmy dick of NXT.
Swarmy dick.
He could actually pull this off. So you're going to do a triple threat elimination match, and when Adam Cole pins Ricochet, he wins the North American Championship, but then he has a singles match one-on-one with Pete Dunne. So whoever pins the first guy wins that championship, and then you can go double. Because if he then pins Pete Dunne as well, then he wins both championships. But if Pete Dunne pins Adam Cole, then he just retains his UK championship, and Adam Cole is now your North American champion.
Interesting. I've been wondering if they're going to give the Undisputed Era like a quick run over in the UK. Like, just go pop in over there, make a run in, beat the fuck out of Dunn over there when the rest of the guys aren't around. You can always have them do something like that. But I'm sort of inclined to think that we're just going to Ricochet versus Dunn again. We can go back and find out who actually would have won that spectacular match that never got a finish. I'm
just not sure that people care.
Oh, I care.
Well, but it's babyface.
I care.
It's babyface versus babyface. Who do you want to win that match?
Pete Dunne. Just because. I mean, that's just it. It comes down to you're going to get the dueling chants. You're going to get. I mean, that match was fucking spectacular. Don't you want to know who won?
Oh, I agree. I think it was a spectacular match, but I think that match is better if you have a foil to the two of them, like Adam Cole.
I guess so. And then it kind of turns into them, like, who gets to beat up Cole first or who pins Cole. Like, I don't know. I feel like that's what sort of all this has been. My reasoning behind this is that maybe they're kind of reshuffling now. They got NXT UK as a thing. They have an NXT title. They have a UK title. They have a North American title. They don't even have enough fucking spots on a TakeOver card for all these things. Maybe they combine them. Maybe we go to, like, a true mid-card title, and then, like, there's an NXT title.
How about we do this? How about your first NXT UK TakeOver you get the North American champion versus the UK champion, because I'm done with Pete Dunne. Keep Pete Dunne over there in the UK. I don't need him on the North American NXT UK product. You know?
I think we'll probably see him less and less now that the UK brand is officially launched, and there's no obligation to keep that title over here. Technically, it's the WWE UK title. It's not even the NXT UK title, so he can come fucking pop up on Raw or SmackDown with it if he really feels like, if they want to try and draw some attention to the NXT UK brand.
But we only do that once a year.
Yeah, I guess so. Only when they pop up when they pop up in England, he'll just show up for a random match and have a great showing and lose. But he's been killing it over on NXT UK. NXT UK has been dope. I mean, it's been too much content. They're giving me the same amount of content as SmackDown every week. I mean, they're just giving us 2 episodes every week. What the fuck? Like, who could keep up with this shit besides us?
Well, and inevitably, what's going to end up happening, at least I think, we're going to end up canceling 205 Live and just make it a second hour of NXT. So you'll actually have 2 hours of NXT and then 1 hour of NXT UK.
Do you think they're always going to... Yeah, okay, I was going to say it's going to go back to 1 hour. I feel like there was like something that sort of happened where they got behind on schedule, or maybe because of all the push for Saudi Arabia or all the push for Evolution, they decided to delay the UK shows like a couple weeks, and that's why we're getting these double shots.
Well, I mean, because Rhea Ripley was supposed to defend and did defend the UK Women's Championship at Evolution, but it was a dark match. It wasn't on the pay-per-view, but she did defend that title against Dakota Kai. But they decided to make it a dark match because they hadn't even introduced the UK Women's Championship yet at the time of Evolution. So they were pumping out like 2 episodes there for a couple of weeks. I feel like just trying to get things back onto a regular schedule, because they already have another set of tapings already in the can, and they're still running that first set of tapings.
They need to get this shit figured out. Play them on different days. Give me one on Wednesday, one on Saturday, or something like that. I mean, for the love of God, you got so much wrestling going on in those first 3 days of the week. It's not necessary to cram them in there like that. But I digress. I've been talking about this for weeks.
Jamie Greer says Evolve could become the next 205 Live. I think Evolve is actually going to become the developmental for NXT. I think NXT is going to become a third brand, and Evolve is going to become the developmental territory.
In a lot of ways, it already has been. I mean,
look how many guys have come through Evolve, right?
Yeah, but even besides that, like, they've actually had kind of a working relationship. If you remember, like, even like just before EC3 came over, like, he did a quick little pop in down there on his way up. Triple H and Gabe Sapolsky have a really good relationship in that way. The same sort of deal with Jim Smallman over in Progress, and the fellow over at ICW, I forget his name, but he kind of is working these little farm systems, kind of de facto. They just and it's not anything official. They just have a relationship where it's like, once in a blue moon they send Regal over to a Progress show. He makes an appearance, he waves, he watches some talent, and then he signs them. Yeah. It's like PWG was like 3 years ago, 4 years ago, and now it's everywhere. So it's a beautiful thing. NXT system is it's fun to watch. It's fun to cover, as you well know. Go ahead and let the people know where they can find you on This Is NXT, and then we can wrap this sumbitch up if you'd like.
Well, you can find me on This Is NXT at OneWrestlingVideo.com. Well, actually, One Wrestling Video on YouTube, assuming that I do another episode of This Is NXT. My schedule has just been so bogged down, I haven't cut one in a couple of weeks. But you can also find me on the Hitting the Marks Pro Wrestling Podcast, hittingthemarks.podbean.com. You can find me Mondays in the locker room at hackerhameen.podbean.com. You can find Hitting the Marks at Last Word on ProWrestling.com, at thegorillaposition.com. We're everywhere, Bello. Just type in Hitting the Marks. I mean, good God, if you're watching this stream right now on twitch.tv/Hitting the Marks, chances are you already listened to our shows and you know where to find me. Plus, at Not Jargo on Twitter. You can go ahead and follow me. Chances are I won't talk to you, but you can try.
I have it on good authority that the Hitting the Marks Pro Wrestling Podcast is, quote, a hoe-ass podcast.
That hoe-ass podcast.
That hoe-ass podcast. You know what, Jargo, before we kick it off, before we send it home, rather, we got Survivor Series coming up tomorrow night. I think we have at least 10 members here on Hameen Media. Do we want to make Survivor Series teams out of our fellow hosts here?
Ooh, that could be interesting. That could be interesting. But you know what's going to happen? is at the end of the match, it's going to be Ben Hameen standing tall and
Overstrong.
and 9 other bodies just laying at his feet. That's pretty much how that thing goes over.
Hameen just goes heel on the Horseman. Healer on the Horseman.
Healer.
Yeah.
Yes, I
More
like that.
heelish than ever.
That's a nice.
Yeah,
touch.
I was gonna say. I think we can push the Horseman and Billy Ray as the conspiracy team, and then I guess it would have to be me, you. We'll take
Vickery.
Strangler Steve. Obviously, he's our only hope. Vickery and Big Ray, right?
Yeah, I guess that's it.
Need
I guess that's
somebody with some size on him. We'll throw Ray to the wolves.
I don't like our odds, man. I don't like our odds.
No,
one
I
bit.
don't either. I'm hoping we can get out of there without Hameen fish hooking me. The moneymaker is not made for that sort of treatment.
I'll be the Adam Cole guy and just hang out on top of the cage.
That is probably wise. So, yeah, Jargo, thank you for joining me here. And for that matter, thank you for having me on your Twitch feed as in the test run over on the Hitting the Marks Twitch feed. So twitch.tv/Hitting the Marks, twitch.tv/HMG Streams is the Hameen Media one. And then obviously /Conspiracy Horseman for the Conspiracy Horseman. All you find people on Twitch. And then you can find me, as you damn well know, on Twitter at Bello being Bello, right here on the Hameen Media Group, doing the Wednesday Locker Room. And then on the Hameen Media Group and the Wrestling World Podcast Network, doing the Next Level Wrestling Podcast every week as your not-so-humble host. So, Jargo, thank you again. Fine folks of Twitch chat room, thank you for joining us. And for all of you listening, if you made it this far, you're a brave, brave soul. And I thank you ever so much for joining me on this journey. I'll talk to you next time. Peace!
And if you are here watching at twitch.tv/Hitting the Marks, join us tomorrow, 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Huckleberry number 1 and I will be back here, complete with like camera movements and new graphics and all kinds of crazy shit. 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, live call-in show. Make sure that you join us back here tomorrow, Hitting the Marks. I'm going to try to close the feed now. I'm going to try.
Looks like money. Smells like money.